season. Rabbit fever. Duck season. Rabbit fever. Rabbit season. Duck fever. Rabbit season. I say it's duck season, and I say fire.
Well, they may never have won college football's national championship. Well, not yet at least. But a couple of times they've come mighty close. No, I'm not trying to remake a Conway-Twitty classic, okay? But it does go to show you that a couple of times this decade, the Ducks have played on college football's biggest stage, national championship. A few years ago, falling just short against Auburn in the now BCS national championship game that's we call defunct. And just this past year, the inaugural college football playoff, as Oregon winning a Pac-12 championship, ended up winning against Florida State and winning big by 39 points in Pasadena in that semifinal blowout and ending the Seminoles' 29-game winning streak. But then, national championship game, Ohio State, and they got a dose of bad news, just right before the game, as they found out that Darren Carrington, one of their best receivers, got suspended because he flunked a drug test. Not to say that's the reason why Oregon didn't win, but it didn't help in the situation. It was a game for 2.5 quarters. Last quarter and a half, the Ohio State University put on the butt whipping, and that was the game. And again, Oregon had to settle for second prize in the beauty contest of national championship. Runner-up, silver medal that year and also in 2010. Remember, the Ducks not only have done no worse than at least 12 wins each of the last 5 seasons, which is just amazing, because, they've had 3 great coaches since the last decade. Mike Bellotti, of course, we know about Coach Kelly, who's now in Philadelphia, and now Mark Helfrich. But also, to the fact that that the Oregon Ducks have had one of the top 5 offenses in college football each of the past 5 seasons. They're great in turnover margin. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Oregon offensively, no matter who they have out there, they've managed to keep this offense moving. And it is a fast-paced offense. It didn't take much time off the clock last year, a little more than 26 minutes time of possession per game, but they still had a 13-2 record, and they were still a nightmare for any defense to try to face. It is a no-huddle spread option type offense that offense coordinator Scott Frost oversees. He knows, though, that replacing the Heisman Trophy winner is impossible. Okay, Marcus Mariotta cannot be replaced. There's no way. Not just because of the fact that he was so fast, so athletic, had a good arm, had chemistry in the offense, but the fact that he was so intelligent as well. And it's not to say that the guys that they have now don't have the brains to play the position, but Mariota was a one-of-a-kind player. He's impossible to replace. What you have to find, though, if you're Frost, is a quarterback that you can depend upon to at least run the offense because you got playmakers coming back, which we'll talk about in a second. So who'll be the QB? Will it be Jeff Locke, who's been in the system for at least a couple of years, but doesn't have the athleticism of the other guy? That's Vernon Adams, and we're still waiting for Vernon Adams to become a part of the team. And here we are in the middle of August, and last time I heard, he was taking one more exam, and this is an exam at his current school, Eastern Washington, not far from Eugene, Oregon. And if he can pass it, then he'll become a graduate of Eastern Washington. No pressure, right? If he can do that, then he'll come to Oregon as a postgraduate. If he doesn't pass, then that's probably going to be it for him. So right now, I would say Jeff Locke is a starter, but if Vernon Adams can get eligible, I would probably see it being a true battle at quarterback. But I think right now, Locke, because he knows the system a little bit more at Oregon, would right now have the edge. Running back, we know who the main guy is. That's Royce Freeman. As a freshman a year ago, the guy was dazzling. Terrific open field speed, hard to bring down, hits the hole real quick. 1,300 yards rushing, like I said, and the plethora of touchdowns, you'll have him. But no Thomas Tyner. And these guys made one heck of a combo last year, but Tyner had some shoulders, issues with the shoulder back in January. Could have had surgery. Maybe he got bad advice from the doctor. Maybe, or maybe not. The doctor said, the pain will subside. You don't need surgery. Well, problem was Thomas Tyner had surgery on the shoulder in early August, just a few days before practices began this month for the Ducks. Obviously, can't use Tyner this year, have to redshirt, and you'll have him next year, though, and possibly in 2017 if he decides to come back for his senior year. So no Tyner, that means it's Royce Freeman and probably Taj Griffin in the backfield. Receivers look a little more solidified with Byron Marshall, one heck of a talent that you return, and also Braylon Addison. he's recovering from a long-term injury, a knee injury, so you have him back. And Charles Nelson, you're going to hear a lot about this guy. Don't confuse him with the actor and former regular on Match Game and other game shows from back in the 70s and 80s. Don't confuse him with Charles Nelson Riley. This is Charles Nelson, receiver, cornerback, also returns, kicks, and punts. Does everything but the dishes. One heck of an all-around athlete, kind of like a Deion Sanders type. If anybody knows the status of Darren Carrington, by the way, who we mentioned earlier in the show, please let me know. I know he's still with the team last time I heard, but I don't know if his suspension from the national championship game extended into the regular season at any point. If you know anything about Carrington's status with the team, please let me know, because I've been trying to find out and haven't had much luck. And you'll have Dwayne Stanford, also too, Devin Allen, reported ACL injury. If you know anything about that too, please let me know. Tight end Farrell Brown, reportedly some knee issues, but right now he's a listed starter for the Ducks. 2 of your 5 offensive linemen are back, though, okay? You'll have back the offensive tackle. That's Tyler Johnstone, one of the best in the Pac-12. He's a senior. And another senior at right guard, that's Cameron Hunt. Actually, Cameron Hunt is a junior, but you'll have him and Johnstone, the senior. But 3 guys have to be replaced. That includes the center, 4-year starter, and Hronis Grasu, and also 2 Jake Fisher, and the tackle Stevens. 3 bodies that you have to replace. Chemistry, getting the offense down, essential for this Oregon offense, because I'm telling you what, they run so up-tempo, they run so fast. That's the biggest reason why they have so much success. Defenses can't adjust in time. The guys who are fairly new to this offense for Oregon will need to adjust just as fast to make it work. Defensively, 6 of the 7 return. You do miss out on Eric Armstead, who's a reliable player up front, but the best player who could have left for the NFL decided to come back. That's DeForest Buckner. Nose tackle, you have Alex Belducci. He's back. And then defensive end, Ty Daniel, the only underclassman amongst the front 7 for the Ducks. He's a junior. All 4 of your linebackers return. Oregon plays a 3-4 defense for Don Pelham's squad. Both inside linebackers. This is a great duo. Joe Walker and also, too, the dangerous Rodney Hardrick, 75 stops a year ago. Started every game last year, and Oregon played 15 games last year, so that's impressive. Your outside linebackers are back in Christian French, and also, too, in Tyson Coleman. Secondary, though, that's the area of the most inexperience, if you will, because 3 guys are gone now, and that included the All-American, the dangerous Ife Ekbre Olomu at one corner, and you also lose out on Eric Dargan, and then the other corner, Troy Hill, has to be replaced, too. So now focus will really be for this Oregon defense on Chris Cisse, who played some last year, but it's fairly, I would say and for all relative purposes, still kind of learning as he goes in the secondary. Offenses now, I think, are going to be a little more tempted to throw his direction. Remember last year when Olomu was in there, offenses had to think twice before throwing in that direction. Olomu commanded that much respect. Other guy could be Charles Nelson at corner. Nelson's a great athlete, probably can handle playing both ways for the most part. And you have the safeties, both sophomores, in Reggie Daniels and Tyree Robinson. So 3 of your 4 Duck secondary players are sophomores. So that's going to be a lot of pressure for them. But when you have a good front 7, experienced front 7, which Oregon has, makes the life of the secondary easier. Last season, Oregon was plus 23 in turnover margin. That did not hurt at all. Another thing that didn't hurt, too, as we're talking about the offense real quick, 42 touchdowns on the ground. Can they keep it going again? We'll see. That's a hard number to try to surpass. And Oregon, if there's one thing they could do defensively that will help themselves, 3rd down conversions. They were dead last when it came to 3rd down defense. Couldn't get off the field very much. That's why they averaged nearly 34 minutes of time of possession as far as defense goes. Now, talking about the schedule for the Ducks, they're going to be favored, I think, in every game this year. The exception might be game number 2, which they play Michigan State, rematch of last year's matchup in which Oregon took over that game in the second half and walloped the Spartans. But it will be tougher playing Sparty this time at East Lansing. The opener in Pac-12 play late September, that game looks like trouble. I mean, Oregon should win, but I think the Booker kid at Utah can play. Utah's got a physical line as well. It's in Eugene, but don't take Utah lightly. And then your next true challenge doesn't come until late October. Arizona State on the road on a Thursday night, national audience. That will be pressure. And you see November, there are some landmines to try to step over at Stanford. Stanford should be a little better than last year. And then all eyes will be in Eugene, November 21st. I think USC is a national championship contender. That could be the first of 2 showdowns between these teams. Now, Big thing for Oregon. Do I think they will win the Pac-12? I think they'll win the Pac-12 North, but my answer as far as the Pac-12 and if I think they'll get to the college football playoff, that will be revealed August 28th when I'll have my first annual college football playoff prediction special in which I'll reveal who will win conferences that I haven't already picked winners for, and also, too, the 4 teams that I think will be in the playoff. And, of course, I'll have my prediction as far as who I think will win the whole kick and caboodle. Oregon, they'll win the North, and I think they're going to have a great shot at getting to the playoff, but find out on August 28th if I have them as a Final Four participant. Thanks for watching.